And we're live from the Rez Podcast.
With two dark natives, I'm Andre Dominguez, co-host Raul Chrisman.
In the house.
Woo-woo.
And we're here joined with us tonight. We have the honor, the privilege to have the one, the only, the legendary Rez Rocker himself, Dean Osuna.
Oh, yeah.
All the way live.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks
We out
for
here
coming,
very long.
And it's good to have you here, man. If you've ever been to, you jammed out to Rez Rock in SoCal,
Yeah.
the Kumeyaay, Degano areas, you're out here in SY, from there all the way down to the beach. You've ever been in the rock scene, Dean Osuna, man.
Yeah.
Dean and one of the many bands that he's been in. He's I don't know if I want to name them all, but for me, it's always Natural Selection.
Natural Selection.
I like that classic rock sound.
We just tore it up over the weekend.
And then if you're into something a little bit harder, you like to rock it out really hard, and then you got Warpath.
You got Warpath. Everybody knows Warpath. Warpath right now is on fire. Both bands, all the bands, really. Everybody's firing on all cylinders. I mean, it's really good.
Can't forget Malachi, right?
Can't forget Malachi. Can't forget Malachi.
Yeah,
that's the third one, and I was up to 6 for a while. And you can't spread yourself that thin. If you got a little bit of extra cushion, I guess you can. But you can't.
What day of week is it? What band are you in? Right?
Who are you playing with?
How many instruments can you play?
A few.
Couple?
I can play bass and drums and guitar, of course, and then a little piano, but only theoretically. And I can't really jam on it. I mean, I can figure out my chords because I know the notes. But not too many. But the drums, that's where it's always been. Guitar was it's just such a chore. I couldn't practice. My mom would get on me. And then when I finally got a drum set, it was like, God, this feels natural,
Oh,
My mom would leave and I could play, and it was like, oh man, this is good. She said, you want to play that thing, go out in the back. Go put it out in the back. And I was in the backyard. You couldn't even hear me. All you hear is like little popcorn.
Oh, you had those little...
No, I was back there jamming. That's what it sounded like through the canyons,
Yeah, there's nobody back there.
Yeah.
And the canyon that we lived at right there on Ipe Hill, straight up to Bonnie's, the canyon goes, and it was cool. I remember playing my guitar outside too, and just making super loud noises, and I didn't even know how to tune my guitar yet.
How old were you doing all this stuff? You talking teenager?
12, 13.
Oh wow. Man.
Yeah, 12, 13. I started getting into it, and then just Chuck, my cousin.
Chuck.
He showed me. Chuck, he's a big part
Chuck's
of
in the studio here chilling.
Yeah.
Solution.
Hey.
Salutations.
All right.
Yeah, so I just picked it up and fell in love right away. Saw a picture of Kiss. I was like, that's the one, Kiss is Alive 2, where you open up the thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a picture of their live set.
Right.
1976, this was probably...
Now he's dating himself.
No, that was the date of the concert. I was 12 looking at this stuff going, I want to be there. I want to do this, So that's where I started.
I see that in my son because he's around that. He's older than now, but when he was about that age, he was looking into rock, iconic stuff like that, the old albums. And it just is something artistic about it. It's just real deep, right?
I think it connects you to the artist and to the genre of music, because when you listen to classic rock and you listen to rock and roll and you get a little bit heavier, maybe listen to some Ozzy or some Sabbath, or your roots are still back there with Leonard Skinner, with Foghat, with Foreigner, with all these bands that are contemporary classic rock bands. You know what I mean? The sound of that era and that time, and to have someone like that, a youngster, be interested in that, it just keeps that music alive forever.
When you see a lot of these old school groups, like you had long hair, and natives, a lot of guys have long hair and stuff. Do you feel like that's played a part of like Kiss? They have Gene Simmons got that big hair coming out. A lot of those classic rock guys had the long hair. Did you ever identify with that, or do you think that was kind of a big thing in you getting into that?
Absolutely. I was the theatrics,
Yeah.
So it was Kiss when I was very first starting.
Okay.
It went to Ozzy, Motley Crue, Marilyn Manson, all which wear stuff on stage, makeup, whatever.
Yeah.
Natural Selection, not so much, because we're kind of a cover rock band.
Sure.
It's more laid back and just more dance groove, party type stuff. But Warpath has that opportunity to bring that theatric to it. And that's just right at home for me, you know what I mean? I'm right there. I'm like, oh, this is You know.
I want to say the first time I saw that was you guys were in Battle of the Band, San Diego. I want to say it was like maybe 03 or something, or somewhere around that, 01, 02. But you guys were the scene at that time. They had a big following. I remember it was around that time. You guys chartered a bus up to Hollywood. But I remember went down to my lady and a bunch of us went down to see you guys at the Hard Rock in San Diego. And man, you guys are. I remember walking in and just thinking, this is different. This isn't just like checking out a buddy's band. This isn't just, you know, because one thing I thought, you were like in a ribbon shirt and you were drumming, dude. And you had your hair down, and I was like, whoa, man. Like this is one of our people from the Rez. You know, I knew this dude back when he was fighting Rez. You know, he was a Red Hawk with my brothers,
way back.
and he's up there rocking it. And you know, he's not just rocking it as a rocker, but he's like, hey, I'm native, man. This is what it is, and you're putting it out there on the forefront. That was cool, man.
I got my bear claws on. You know what I mean?
Hey, leave the shirt on. Oh, your necklace. Oh, my bad.
Cold tonight, though.
Thought he was about to rip it off, boy. Hey.
So I have to just.
No flex on.
Yeah, no flex. Yeah. That's what it's about. You know, doing that, bringing that, representing that, and very big. How do you say it? Hugely. You know, most importantly, there you go. Represent it correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The representation is so important.
Yeah. Because it is a great vehicle, but it can also be, you know, against you as well. Because you have to think about so many things: the elders, the traditions. The, you know, how it comes out, how it comes off you, how it's received.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can put a label on it and go that way. But if you overdo it, if you disrespect, if you're not doing it right, if you don't know what you're doing, you might piss off a lot of people, and that's not good. You're not going to get any recognition. You're not going to get anywhere. It's not going to have any energy. It's not going to, you know, do what it's supposed to do. And what we're supposed to do is get out there and have networking native people to get this thing just, you know, around the globe.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that we were talking about with not just with podcasts, but with our singing group, Shot Cook, when we go out, is there are places out there that don't know who we are. They don't know who we are and where we come
what we do.
Yeah, there's not people from, you know, San Diego like, oh, there's natives out there way. But I think you do a great job of you going out to Hollywood, you going out to these different places, and then representing that ribbon shirt or whatever, you know, those type of things. You put our name out there saying, hey, you know, we are Warpath or whoever you're representing at the time. And we have roots down from San Diego. That network that you're talking about.
And that's who we are. We went to Oregon last year on a tour. Warpath went to Oregon, and they received us with open arms. They knew who we were before they even met us.
Wow.
And now that they know us, the whole state knows us. And it's like, we're going back. We're doing our tour. We just booked Portland, and we just booked Myrtle Creek. And we're doing 7 dates in July. From San Diego to Oregon and back, you know what I mean? Our own tour, just from selling shirts, doing shows, getting people together, throwing it up on Facebook, doing, hey, here's my post, man, check it out. Here's my face. Everybody wants to see what's going on. What are you guys doing? What do you look like? What do you sound like? You know? Who's watching you? Oh, that person's watching you? I'm definitely going to watch you. You know, and 4 or 5 other people are going to watch you because I'm going to go tell them, and then there you go. You know what I mean? It starts working. I think the key, though, is once you get something like that started, with these people, you know, that are outside of your little band or your little entourage, you have to keep it going.
Yeah.
You have to give them something. You have to say, look, here's a new picture. Here's a new video clip. Here's a new song. You know, here's a new makeup style we're thinking about doing. Here's some new merch. You know, take it back a minute. Hey, remember this? Remember these shows? Boom, 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 boom. Just to remind them.
Yeah.
And then boom, back to the front. Start throwing it out again, you know. Giving stuff away too. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
That's what you need to do.
Nothing wrong with it. In fact, our first album is just about to drop. In about 2 weeks, it's going to be released, and we're giving it away. We're not charging for it. We're not charging. We're going to put it on. Once it goes to iTunes and all that, and then you'll have to buy it because they don't give anything away.
Sure.
But when we do our CD release party, we're going to order like 500, and we're just going to give them away until those are gone. We're just gonna give them away, and then that way, it's not something for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're offering.
And it shows, I think, one of the biggest things is we walk down. You've ever walked down Hollywood Strip? You know, and they're like, hey, you know, they start handing you CDs. Like, oh, you know, it's nothing. You know, we don't ask for nothing. We don't ask for nothing. But they always ask you for something. They always ask you you.
Got a buck? I got a shoe or something. They want you to put some change in, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I remember giving that guy like $5 and he was like pissed and he didn't even want it. I'm like, bro. So you really don't want me to listen to the music. You just want the money. But that just shows that you really are wanting these people to listen to the music.
That's what we do.
It has nothing to do with that.
There's so many barriers with, $1 or a $10 album or even a $5 album because, like, for me, I don't have the luxury of going and being able to purchase that stuff from my phone.
Oh, yeah.
You know? I don't have it set up that way, you know? If I'm going to buy something, it's going to be cash or, we'll take care of it another way. So that kind of limits me from the music that I could potentially be buying or, doing. I mean, I have ran into a few times where it's like, okay, I wanted to listen to something and it was like, okay, well, it's $7.99 a month. And I was like, well, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Too.
Yeah.
The free stuff, I'm all about it. I'm like, yeah, shit, man, give me that free, give me that.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to the same stuff for free because the people that are putting that free stuff out there want us to hear it no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's going to make an impact how we, by listening to it.
How old, I was going to say, how old is Warpath? How long have you guys been?
I think we're about 4 years, coming up on 5. Yeah, coming up on 5 in March. Matter of fact, March of this year, I think it's the 5th year.
That's awesome.
The 5th year. Harrison just turned 18. Chance is 22, so yeah, that's about right.
And Chance, he comes from the old school band when they were just kids, right? That was
the 50 cal.
Man.
Actually,
old school.
Harrison does too.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Harrison was the next guitar player in line.
For those of you guys that don't know, man, 50 cal there were a bunch of little kids, most from the Rez. And Dean, gives back to his community, always has a long time. He was one of the guys driving the van for the old sports teams, and things going on in Santa Ysabel. You go up there, donating his time to set up speakers and make sure the sound's right, all that kind of stuff. But, say, hey, I'm going to work with some of the kids and teach these guys how to play instruments. It's a good outlet for him. And you pretty much put together that band, right? Those guys were rocking.
Those guys were so good.
Yeah, there were little kids rocking. People would trip out on it.
So it was Chance Perez, Dennis Beresford, Chance Perez on guitar, Dennis Beresford on the vocals. Jeremiah Sanchez was the original drummer.
Maya was on that.
He was the
drummer.
original drummer.
That's right.
2 kids from Verona, Gatlin Benegas.
Oh, yeah.
Gatlin Turner?
Yeah.
And Gunner, his brother Gunner.
Yeah.
Was the keyboard player. And
those guys are still great musicians to this day, right?
Gunner is in MIT?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
I think, no,
Not MIT.
Some music school in
MI. It's called MI, Musical Institute.
Music Institute.
In Hollywood. He's up there still taking his studies. I see his posts all the time. He's doing really well.
That's cool.
Great guitar player. In fact, so as the story goes, 50 cal, we were doing, IHS had us doing all of their events.
Yeah.
Cody Perez on bass. Sorry, can't forget Cody. He was 9.
9
Well,
years
we
old.
started.
It was like that.
Yeah. And let me tell you, man, this kid played this bass.
He was little.
And it was as big as him. And he never practiced. He had a photographic memory.
Really?
Showed it to
He's
still
smart
does.
for sure.
Still does. Showed it to him once. He refused to practice at practice when everybody got their practice. He was never there at practice. Show up the show, plug him into his bass, tune it up for it, and he would play the gig flawlessly.
Man,
Incredible stuff.
crazy.
So as kids do, they grow up.
Yeah.
So, I still have natural selection. Been playing for years. I think we said 22 years the other day, something like that. 18.
Wow.
So anyway, somewhere like that.
Yeah, it's got to be 20 plus.
20 plus.
The way I know that is because, for me, has a real special part of my heart. Because when I was going out with my lady, we're married now, we got 5 kids, all that. But when I was just first taking her out, I'd go up there and they'd have the Rez parties up there, and it was always that was the scene, natural selections playing, everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
It was a great time for that Rez, man. I used to love it. Go up there and be like, man, everyone's good with each other. And if there was any kind of beef, get squashed real quick, but everyone was just really good with each other. And I want to say it's kind of rare, to see so many natives get together and just chill with each other. Yeah, on the regular.
Different reservations, man. La Jolla would come up, Verona would come up. Definitely.
You guys would always rock, man. And I know the soundtrack to that was always heavy CCR, Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
Why are those songs so why do Rez's like that music?
I don't know, you know what? But every Rez band I've ever been in, man, has always played those songs, man. No, you can't get away from the You know, what is that?
Yeah.
That song?
What do you-
Home Alabama.
Yeah.
You know, the Creedence, you know, Proud Mary.
It said midnight. You like, we better start
here it
playing
goes.
Midnight Special.
Yeah.
What do you think the #1 Rez jam of all time is? Rock.
Who
I have my
the-
thought. I've told Andres this. He was like, what? But what do you think? I'll tell you mine, but you tell me yours.
Shit, Indian Car's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Indian Car. Shit, but that's not rock, though. That's kind of...
That's real Rez down
That's Rez. That's total Rez.
To me,
Shit.
when I'm out there, here's what I hear. When I hear just the little beep, 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 and then it said, hey.
Oh,
hey.
yeah.
I want to see that's like, man, that gets everybody out there dancing, man.
That is the native song. Check it out.
Yeah.
So, when Warpath plays, you know, you have the DJs playing the music, and all the people are on stage getting the band ready to play, and you know, the band's in the back, and they're getting their makeup on. Warpath's back there. We're putting on our war paint, and we're getting ready, and we know that we have 2 minutes and 37 seconds left when the DJ turns the radio, because it's at talking level. The music, it's just filler. But as soon as the lights go out on the stage and the radio comes up a little bit more, and you hear Redbone.
Oh,
You
yeah.
Bing, 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 right? So we play that.
Yeah, yeah.
And as it's ending is when we walk out on stage. Actually, I walk out on stage by myself. And it's just ending, and then I sit down and we do our little intro, and then it becomes, you know.
That's cool.
I think it's the glue. I think
Yeah.
it's the glue. Because it would have to be one of the most all-time Rez jams.
You see it everywhere, right?
It's everywhere, and every native man and every native band tries to play it. I was in Turned Up, right? I was in Turned Up with Moto Benegas, man.
Yeah, may rest in peace, man. Shout out those guys.
Moto put together this band with his sons and a couple other guys, and it turned into a band called Turned Up with Brandon and Ethan and Moto, and we tried to play that song without the keyboard player that we had later to date. It just didn't cut it.
Okay.
Because there's that part in there, you know, where it's like, there's this little keyboard part that makes that song, and there's just those little tones in there that are like, So, I did have a band successfully pull that song, but it's very hard to play.
Yeah. So iconic, though. Hey, we have his boy up in here. Do a little introduction to this guy. One day we'll back.
Who is this?
Who is it? Tell us who you got
It's
here.
Daniel Osuna.
Yeah,
Hi,
boy.
Daniel.
How old are you, Daniel? Do you know? Whoa, yeah.
You know it's Dean's boy, but he's trying to rock out.
Get ready for the mosh pit.
Pre-gaming on.
All right, buddy. It's good to see you. Yeah, man, that song's pretty iconic, man.
It is,
I
definitely.
like it.
It is,
I like
it is. So yeah, we use that, Warpath uses that and we will, always.
Yeah.
If we're playing at Cricket, which we hopefully will be soon,
Yeah.
that's going to be, that's
Yeah.
how we come on. And that's going to make everybody standing in line getting a beer going, oh shit, we got to go, man.
Time to get in there.
It's time to get in there, you know what I mean? Everybody goes running towards the stage, and that's, hopefully we can get to that.
So who's in Warpath? Who do you have now?
So-
active members. Who we going?
We have active members of Warpath are myself, playing drums, Chance Perez, singing and playing guitar, Harrison Whitecloud playing lead guitar and singing, and Danny Trujillo doing all the bass work and all the sound.
Man, Danny's been in a long time, too,
Yeah,
man.
Danny's
I
been
remember going to his pad way back. You'd have concerts over there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good one.
Always
We're
a cool
having
guy.
another one this year, so
Right on, man.
we'll come and do the podcast and
Yeah, we got to bring him
invite
in.
everybody.
Get everybody up in here.
Yeah,
yeah,
and do that,
definitely
make it a big thing, and we can tell everybody about this show, and make sure all the native people get a word and get there,
Yeah, absolutely, man. So,
Yeah.
like, how looking back, like you were talking about Moto and his family. I mean, that was beautiful to see him and his boys play, because it really does show. It's not just an interest, but this is part of our legacy, our history.
Our
It's coming out of
culture,
people. It's our
really.
culture now.
Really?
I know the Verona Museum, they had an exhibition at one point where they were doing Rez Rock, or I don't know what they titled it, but something along the lines of like history of Rez Rock in Quebec
What was it?
country, or something like
Rez
that.
Jam.
Rez Jam, yeah, and they were charting like all the people who had played, because there's a long tradition of Verona. For instance, of people who played the music, the guitar.
Arrowhead,
Yeah.
you got
I know, man. Rest in peace, Bruce.
Still
He's not around no more
Rocking.
either.
Bruce had, I don't know,
Man.
different, he had a bunch.
But
James
yeah,
Ray,
Arrowhead,
all those guys. Oh, Uncle Harold, man, all those, Bruce, Beaver, Pat, all the older guys, Fat Boy, Leon.
Yeah. It's cool, man. And so where do you see yourself in that? You're in there, man.
I'm in there.
You're in there.
Sure.
You're in there.
I'm in there because I started, gosh, when I was 18, I started with Harold in Arrowhead. You know, I played in Arrowhead, and we did, gosh, I remember playing the Konakai Inn, one of my first gigs back in the day. I'd never even been off the Rez, really.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So it was like, let's go down here and play. And I was like, all right, that sounds good. You know, I remember how I felt about it. I was very nervous. But I was playing with Moto. And Kathy Nelson, she was singing from La Jolla.
Yeah.
Right? And Harold was playing. And it was just one of the versions of the Rez band. But I was confident because Moto was there. And he was like, you know, he was telling me, we're going to do good. It'll be fine. We'll be all right. And it was. It was a good gig.
How long do you think you'll do this, man?
Forever.
Yeah.
My son, he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen him rocking at your birthday.
Yeah,
He was
he
getting
plays.
it.
So is there like do you get like is there you know, do you switch positions as you get older, or can you play drums till the end?
Oh
How does
yeah,
that
I can play
work?
drums to the end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I just started recently getting healthy again. I lost a bunch of weight, so I'm able to actually play longer. I'm actually feel comfortable playing.
Cool.
Same thing with guitar. My hands, my muscles, everything. I can play a lot longer now. So, you know, it's all about how you take care of yourself.
So what's responsible for your getting healthy, man? What's your motivation? What's worked for you?
I wanted to live longer for my son and my family.
That's cool, man.
You know, I want to be here, make sure that they, you know, get the right.
He's having fun tonight.
Right,
Man.
you know.
He's good. You're good,
Yeah,
man.
he's fine.
And I quit eating sugar and I quit eating bread. That's it.
Sugar and bread, huh?
That's
How
it.
much you lose?
I lost 30 pounds in the last 2 months.
Wow, man.
Yeah, just like that. And it's discipline. That's all it is. I'm not cheating here, going and getting a little snack of a tortilla
On the way home,
some beans,
band practice.
you know, just one Reese's. You know what I mean? And that's my downfall right there. I eat Reese's all day long.
Man.
Yeah.
And soda. You know, I just quit. And once I could feel it in my body, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It was a no-brainer. Salads and protein.
That's all it takes, really.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. You drink a lot of water or what?
Drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Drink a lot of water. And I still like my sugar, so I'll drink some diet soda.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it satisfies my craving for the sugar. There's no sugar in it. I got some artificial stuff, but
Yeah.
the trade-off is huge. You know, I used to have diabetes. I don't have it anymore.
No way, man.
Yeah.
You beat it with that.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, and the doctor told me, he's like, you're only 7 to 10 pounds away from not having to take any pills.
Wow.
You know, so and that was, gosh, 2-3 years ago. You know, and here I am, man. I was at right before my hernia surgery, I was 278, the heaviest I'd ever been. And I was like, man, so I had my surgery, and because I couldn't move or eat much, I lost a bunch of weight. I got down to like 245 or something like that.
Mhm.
I felt good, but I mean, as soon as
You're up and moving?
up and moving, I was eating that junk again. You know, and then I started thinking about it after about 3 weeks of eating this way. My brain felt a little clearer. Everything felt just, you know, I could conversate. Seemed like I could conversate better.
Yeah.
You know, things were more valid in my opinion. You know, we were having like much better conversation.
No,
You know what I mean?
no coffee needed. Do you drink coffee or
I
not?
love coffee.
Yeah,
I drink
that's
coffee
my
all day, all night.
I'll start.
Yeah.
Sound like Bone Thugs and Harmony and miss everybody. Yeah.
That is actually my crutch. Coffee is my crutch. 'Cause
Coffee.
With black or what? What do you
No,
creamer?
no. Just regular half and half in Splenda.
Okay.
That way, I'm getting just a barely amount of
Yeah.
dairy, so it's nothing to even bark at. But away from the sugar. Now, I tried this the last time, and I just couldn't do it. I'm like, I gotta have this syrup in my coffee, because otherwise it just doesn't taste good, right?
Right.
And I'd wake up in the morning with this dry mouth and be like, why is my mouth so dry? Well, I was drinking half a pot of coffee before I went to bed with all this creamer in it. That's, you know, my favorite was the Stone, what is it? Cold Stone?
Cold Stone.
Cold Stone,
Oh, God.
cream stuff.
That stuff's so much sugar, man.
Dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't until I kicked that, because it was that much of that sugar that was really keeping me here, you know?
Yeah.
Do you find the lifestyle of rock, like being on tour, like you guys are on tour, man, playing a few nights a week, is that hard or is that
Especially
difficult?
at
hard.
midnight, like
Yeah.
your eating schedule's got to be off. Like I feel like everything's got to be off being that late.
It does get off, but I'm eating less. So I'm eating twice a day. First time, I'll snack in the morning. If I get a chance to cook some eggs and some bacon, I'll do that because that's great protein. But I'm usually eating by 1 o'clock, a good salad, and then dinner time, whatever proteins I need and a salad.
Yeah.
You know, and now I've lost so much weight, my stomach's shrunk up enough.
You don't need
I'm not
that
hungry.
much. Yeah, especially if you're having salads.
Yeah.
That salad
This
fills you.
fills me up, and everything I need in it. I can put the nuts, I can put the fruit in it. I've started introducing, you know, a little bit of fruits here and there because there's a lot of sugar in those too.
Yeah.
You know, but my 30 pounds is a lot. I have to now introduce just a little bit. You know, like I had a strawberry, one strawberry.
Ooh, how sweet that was.
Oh my God! I was like, and it was a good one too. You know, but still, back in the back of my mind, going, being from a Native American country, being from that traumatic upbringing, the addiction is there. It's in the back of my mind. I want to just dive into this thing of strawberries and eat them because they're not harmful.
Mm-hmm.
No, they kind of are. You know, if you overdo it, just like anything.
That we talked about that. You know, like people, they associate right away the drugs and the alcohol as they should. You know, with addiction. But sugar, caffeine,
bread.
You know, all of these things are.
You don't
bread,
even realize
man.
things you don't realize you're addicted to until you don't have them anymore. Because I thought that I would miss the sugar more than I missed the bread.
Oh no!
Oh man, I went to make a sandwich more than once and was like, what? Man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this because my sandwich that was my staple.
Yeah.
I need some bologna from growing up. You know, there's a bologna sandwich.
Cheese sandwich on.
And cheese. Man, you know, I got to hold on to the cheese though. So that's good.
Yeah.
My face brown.
Yes.
All brown.
Yeah, so we're trying to get him,
Pretty brown.
Daniel, you know, on the same path, on the same, you know,
Yeah.
good.
health kick, you know, without causing too much damage to him. Try not to be a snob. Try not to overdo it. You know, just be conscious about what we're putting in our bodies.
Yeah, well, that's good, especially if you're talking about you're playing and you're jamming out. And I seen you out there, you're drenched right at the end of it.
Yeah, you got to burn a lot of calories.
And especially like if I'm doing, you know, so a natural selection show could be 4 hours.
Yo, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm playing 4 hours, and a Warpath show could be 90 minutes. Now a 90-minute Warpath show is.
Just
I'm drenched at the end of that show because every song is just
go
you
for
know,
it.
but it's cool because my mind is clear. I'm capable. My limbs are, you know, flexible.
And you used to hurt like afterwards.
Oh God, I hurt during.
Yeah.
Yo man, and especially right before my hernia. You know, it was you know just unhealthy.
It's a lot of abs, right? Because you're pushing into those drums.
A lot of just cardiovascular, a lot of all the way around stuff.
Do you worry about carpal tunnel in your wrist and stuff like that?
I had it in my elbow.
Oh wow.
It was coming, and it was because I wasn't doing anything, and my diet was horrible.
Okay.
So I went. Dr. Clack gave me a shot in my elbow, which fixed me up about 3 years ago. I haven't had any problems with it. But stuff was happening with my other elbow and my wrist, and I was like, you know what? This can be fixed. This can be fixed. You know. So yeah. And
Getting fit, you feel like it's helped you?
I'm working 6 to 8 hours a day.
Because I got a beater's arm right now. My arm, my elbow, all like you're talking about. So I'm drumming, but it's from beating. You know, and like just prolonged periods of time doing that. I got to remember to stretch out. But that's what I've been told too. Is like, you know, get fit and you'll feel better.
Something I didn't really never took serious.
Yeah.
Something I really never took serious. You know, Andre, I see him all the time, fit. You know, doing stuff, running in the gym. You know, it's like boom, boom, boom. And I'm just like, I never once thought, you know, let's go do that, or let's, you know, be a part of my daily routine. You know.
Yeah, it's crazy how much better you feel.
But now it's like I'm actually ready to start running again.
Wow.
You know, that'll be the next thing, and then I'm gonna actually start doing some, you know, a little bit of workout and stuff.
I bet you probably be decent at running too because of all that cardiovascular.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I bet.
Down at the beach where you can breathe all day long. You know what I mean?
I can just see now he's down with his hair down.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Doing my Jason Momoa down there.
No face.
You'll have the henna tattoos on.
Yeah.
Coming out the water.
Yeah, come out the water.
Extra
Slow-mo
majestic.
too. Water glistening with my staff. Yeah, just looking at that. Triton won't be happy, but hey, I got it anyways.
That's crazy, man.
So how did Warpath come to be? How did that come to be?
Excuse me.
So it was like I had been doing this all my life when I was in high school. And what I would do is I'd draw album covers, and I'd draw band logos, and I would put them on my book covers, and like mine would be like mediocre, and like these cool rocker people would have these artists do theirs, and
Yeah.
sick, and I'd be like, oh man, okay. So I went to drawing stages. Like I learned how to draw a drum set
Oh, that's cool.
from from the back view, and I put some speakers and some truss and some lighting and all that on there. Made a stage, made it 3-dimensional, and that's what I would do. I'd draw a guitar and put it there, draw a guy on there, and they started to come out really good. So I meet Chuck. His grandma married my grandpa when we were little kids. So he comes down, he starts teaching me how to play, and I learned how to play, right? And I don't know, years go by, years and years go by, and Chance, who is from the reservation of Santa Ysabel, wanted to learn how to play guitar.
Yeah.
And I had just gotten home, I had a terrible accident back in the day. I ended up doing some time for it, and that was a perfect place to reflect my whole life. So when I got home, these things, that's where I started my community service and my whatever. It was all for free. They offered to pay me. Well, I'm not dumb, but all of it at first was for free, and it was just part of my giving back. You know what I mean? Because I had taken so much for granted.
Yeah.
And to be able to actually come back and have that second chance was just amazing. I think the creator, you're just like, whoa, because the situation could have been a lot worse, and I could still be in prison, or dead. You know what I mean? And not here talking and doing this and having positive things happen in my life, So, as that time goes by, and here we are, let's fast forward 100 years, and Chance wants to learn how to play guitar. I was teaching the ITS softball teams, basketball teams, and all that, and he was 15, and his mom had given him a choice. And the choice was, I could give you lessons from this classical teacher down here at the music store, or you could take lessons from Dean. And of course, Chance wanted to take lessons from Dean. She's like, that's a no-brainer, Mom. I want to rock. So she asked me, and we got him some equipment, and he started learning. And the kid was absolutely amazing. He took to like water like a duck. I mean, he's double jointed, which was weird. That was our first hurdle. Was how come it doesn't look right? And I had to put it out of my mind. Don't worry about it because he's playing it right. So once that happened, I taught him all I know. And then 50 cal came about during that time, and we were doing super well. Well, right around that time, Chance starts drawing these same stages that I drew years ago. Right?
Frontline warrior.
And I'm like, wow. And I see one that's almost identical. And he had a guitar up against the amp, just like I had it, And I'm like, dude. So he goes, I got these other things I've been thinking about, right? And this is when he's 15. He's like, and he shows me this Warpath pentagram with 2 feathers on the side of it. It said Warpath on the top, and I'm like, that's a cool name for a band, right? So the stories are long and they're all intertwined, but he becomes 50 cal, grows up. He becomes a part of natural selection, and during that time, we're like, oh shit, Chance, let's jam, let's do something. He's like, I got this, man. I got these 2 songs. And right around that time, 50 cal was, couldn't keep it together because of what was going on. But Harrison was there. He was about to transition into 50 cal. We didn't want to leave Harrison in the dust. So while Chance and I worked on these couple songs, Harrison got a hold of Chance and they worked on a couple things. And then one day in March, like 5 years ago, it happened. We had a little Warpath thing. We just jammed.
Just you 3?
Just us 3. We jammed, and then it became like an interest. We're like, well, I think we might have something here, guys. Because Chance went to high school in Ramona for 1 year and took a jazz course that opened up so many doors to him musically. It was exactly what he needed. So he learned all these things, and then being in natural selection, learning all this old school, we couldn't teach him.
So, probably I'm imagining, where this guy, little guy, I know the feeling, bro. But, some people don't know where Santa Ysabel is at and whatnot. People say,
Yeah.
everybody knows Santa Ysabel, everybody knows you too. But people from other side of the country, other side of the state, Santa Ysabel is up in the mountains. It's remote. It's way out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of native kids, teenagers that are like rocking out. They want to start their own band. I imagine they must think like, I don't even know where to get equipment. I don't know where to start. I don't know. Like I know how to maybe make a design on a shirt, or something, or I know what sound I like. What kind of suggestion do you have for these, like a group of young dudes trying to start something, or a young man trying to start something?
Okay, so if there's a group of young guys that want to start, or girls, or whatever, guys and girls, or all of them, whatever, they want to start something, and they know who I am.
Yeah.
Get a hold of me.
There you go, man.
I do shirts.
Okay.
I do sound. I do photography. Everybody does. Everybody has a phone.
Yeah.
You can do amazing things with these apps and things. It's just a matter of direction.
All right, and we're back live on the Rez, Two Dark Natives.
Dark Natives here with Dean, the instrumental machine.
It's been called many machines. Instrumental is one of them.
Now the lean machine.
Now the lean machine. I'm feeling good, guys. I'm telling you, man. I'm feeling real good. I'm stepping good. I'm working well. It's part of my daily routine. I wake up every day at like 6, 6:20, something like that, between that time. It's just a way of life, And it's nothing. It's nothing to me. It's just a little sacrifice of selfishness.
How long did it take to get to that point, though?
50 years, almost 49 years. Yeah, because I was thinking back about it, and I didn't really pay too much attention to it. It was always at a level of like, okay, well, not obese, but I kind of was, 278, that's a lot.
It's a big boy.
It's hard to get on the Rez. You don't feel obese, but because the standard's there.
Standard's there, yeah.
Hey, you're in good shape.
Yeah.
You're young.
You could chop some wood.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, stack. Hey, on it, Brad.
Yeah.
Hey, man, what were you saying about how you could tell someone like with the shoes? What were you saying?
Oh, yeah, you can tell a fat person with the shoes, Because the whole reason is because I was holding my breath to put my shoes on, right? And wear my slip-ons, right?
You're right.
You look at my shoes and now you see that they're tied in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? Because somebody with a weight on them, they tie their shoes, they have to bring it up to the
belly in the
middle
way,
like this and tie it, and it ends up on the side, and there's no way to fix it.
I instantly took my shoe off. Hey, put it back
fixed
on.
it.
He tied it.
I never knew he knew that.
See, I hate that
How
people
many more people know?
Yeah, that's why we're telling everybody now. Get your laces straightened up, man. We'll be talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, legit. I'm gonna be looking at everyone's shoes now.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
breathing hard.
Yeah, breathe hard. No, it's true though, man. I mean, gosh, you shouldn't have to do that.
No,
Yeah.
dude, I remember one point, dude, my belly was out there. I was
Yeah,
like, I was a big
thick.
boy, dude.
You got
And
thick,
man,
bro.
dude, that stuff was rough, man. And I was only there for like a year,
Yeah.
a year and a half maybe. But I was like, man, I don't know how people live like this for like their whole lives.
Their whole lives.
man.
And people who are super obese and just the things they deal with psychologically. I mean, gosh, because
Yeah.
for me, it really was in my head about things that I were limited to do because of not because of my weight, just because of my
Insecurities?
Insecurities, I think, yeah, my size.
See, I grew up big like that. I was a real chubby kid. I was real thick, and I was like 260 as a sophomore in high school.
Ooh, that's
which right now
big.
I'm about I'm like 220. But I was real big like that, and you kind of don't know any better. But there are a lot of insecurities. The way you dress, you want to make sure it hides things. When people are doing physical things that that you can't really do, you kind of shy away. You don't want to be in the mix. You pull yourself back. There's a lot of behavioral things that you kind of are cognizant of, and some that you're not, but you just know that you're living an altered life. You're not living your fullest life. Mm-hmm. And then for me, I lost a lot of weight coming out of high school into college. I got down at one point to like 150, 160. I had six-pack. I was in the gym every day. I was running. I was feeling. And, I swore myself then, like, I'll never go back, But, of course, they're having kids, things like that. But I never did go back to a certain point, And it's just like... even if it's just going for a walk or a small jog here and there, just to keep myself.
Keep the motivation going. Yeah, for sure.
And now, like Andre's around. He lost all this weight. He's looking good. He's feeling it. He's working out. He's been like, hey, you need to start. And I'm like, all right. So I've been kind of motivated. Yeah. The more he's been around, the more motivated I've been. And me and my boys have gone down working out, and they do their thing. But I go down there and try to jog a little bit and work out, and I feel good, man. So I don't know that I've lost 30 pounds though. So but I'll get there. You look good though, man.
Thanks. I feel great. I'm at 30 pounds, and my main motivation is my amazing woman, April.
Cool.
And the family that I'm in, and I'm you know, her family is absolutely amazing, and my family, our family together is just, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely worth
Yeah,
it. We're
man.
teammates, so it's got to be both of us. You know what I mean? I can't just do it myself. She can't just do it by herself. We do it together. It's so much better.
Yeah.
You know, and that's my motivation. You know, these guys right here.
And how
that
old's your
family,
son?
He's gonna be 4 next month.
See, yeah, he's got a long.
I got a long time. I
It's
gotta
gotta be
be-
healthy for him, man.
I gotta stay around at least another 30, 40, you know?
Yeah,
Gosh,
man,
I mean, that's
exactly.
gonna put me up in age at 90 though, but if I take care of myself at 90, my dad, he's 79 right now, he's still doing
Is he?
good. Yeah.
Wow, man.
He's still cruising around.
Yeah.
He's just now figuring out, he's from the old school, and he's just now figuring out that he needs to take care of himself in order to last a little longer. And the thought of not being here scares the hell out of both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're like, we've been hanging out real tight lately because, you know, that just something says that. He calls me, I need you to hang out with me. It doesn't say that, but,
But yeah.
you know, I know.
You feel it, you
I
can-
feel it. So we're there,
Yeah.
we're talking, and I see him. We talk about his, you know, I got a doctor here. What did the doctor say? He tells me, okay, well, this means that. And he goes, that's what I thought. You know, he's that old school guy, you know. For him to have those type of revelations at this age,
Yeah.
it's good, you
But I
know.
think not only just the family, you know, because not only your family is seeing it, is outside people are seeing the exact same thing, you know, and especially, you know, we talked about you working with the youth, you built, you know, these different bands, and then you're pretty open, right? You know, you guys, your Facebook Live and things, but we're all seeing this unfold, and we're seeing this positivity type things going in your direction. And then the fact that you've lost 30 pounds, obviously people see that you lost 30
Yeah.
pounds, and we need that for a long spans. You know, a lot of native cultures, you know, native families, they don't see that for expended, long term. You know,
Right.
we only see it for 50, 40. What's the
Expectancy?
Yeah,
I mean,
expectancy.
Well, hey
It's getting
man,
lower and
here
lower.
on our res, and I don't think of our res as a bad spot. Like it's, you know, it's a good community. They said it's 43 years old, I think, man.
Wow,
43.
that is too young.
Yeah,
My
it's
brother
crazy.
passed away at 43, and it broke my heart, you know.
So we need that. We need that in the long term. We need those people who are 80, who are 70s, and still doing those.
Still active
Still active
in the community as well.
In the community, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great way that you're doing in the community. You've taught kids. You've brought up kids. We all know. You know, we've seen
Yeah.
it. So I think that's a great. I think you
Thank
worked
you.
with the youth program as well. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So we need people like that more out there. You know.
And like I was saying, anybody out there that's listening to this, and you guys, if you know me or know someone that knows me, they'll give you my number. I mean, I don't know about giving it out over here.
Hey.
You got all those girls calling.
We're gonna write it down in the toilet bathroom stall.
WarpathNation.com. You guys
Yeah.
can get a hold of me there through the Warpath website. You guys can get a hold of me through the Natural Selection Facebook site. Any of those sites, you guys have any questions or any, if you need help, I've got equipment like for days. I've got drum sets, and I've got
Yeah.
guitar amps, and I've got guitars, and I've got all these things, and I've, you know.
I think you're good at branding. You know, you're good at creating that,
Yeah.
that friendship and that bond with those people. So yeah, those people would be great. You'd be a great person to hit up. So
Yeah, definitely.
talk
Yeah.
about it.
And Dean's from the res, man, straight up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not to put nothing on anybody who's not, but there is some unique challenges that you face growing up on a res, being around the res,
Indeed.
producing this product from the res, you know, that you just don't get other places. And Dean's been that's where he comes from. So that's everything he does is going to come from that, you know. And I think that's important because it really does show that you can do it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and not just from a res, like my res, I'm down here, we're pretty close to the city, but SY is way out there, man.
We're way
So
out there.
if you can find a way to get from SY down to, you know, to San Diego playing in the Hard Rock, you know, and rocking the house like that, then anybody can do it. You know
Absolutely. Anybody can do
So-
it. You just need the confidence. If you need the confidence, come hang out with me. You know?
Yeah.
We'll build the confidence up. That's
Yeah.
not a problem. I did 3 shows over the weekend, this past weekend. I did a sound show at the Hard Rock Hotel Friday night. I did a show Saturday morning in Del Mar with Natural Selection. And I did a show Saturday night with Warpath, you know? And that is because that's what I do, you know? And I don't have a problem getting out there and doing it. And I'm not scared to do it. And I'm fully confident that I'm able to do it. So all those combinations of things help me be who I am.
Yeah.
You know, and if I can help somebody else be that person and be that, just that one little push over the nudge to get them going and make them a better person or have better self-esteem or a better direction on what they want to go and do. You know?
Yeah, and it's all about having those people in your life to do that. And I think you said Chuck was there.
Chuck was there.
Chuck was there for you to help you out with that. You know, so you gotta have that network that you were talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, reach out, man. Reach out to anybody. If you have, if it's whether it's shirts, whether it's music, whether it's whatever. It
Anything.
is.
I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of things. I mean, I'm not limited to anything other than computers because I really don't play on the computer too much. My phone is enough.
There you go.
So I mean, other than that, I'm fully capable. So.
And everybody out there, listening, just I would invite you or encourage you to go out and search out Dean, Warpath, all these guys, and if you know other people doing the same thing, reach out to them and support them, man. Go to a show, go buy a shirt. All of that stuff is love. You just give love to these guys because they really are. What he's talking about to me is kind of like what I feel singing Bird. Is that you go out and you give it to the people. It's deep in you, and you're sharing a little bit of that with the people. Any opportunity you get, any chance, it makes you feel whole, makes you feel good. Any kind of encouragement,
Man.
I know when someone says, "Hey, thank you," that means a lot to me. Someone shakes my hand, that means a lot to me. And I know going to a show. I've gone to a lot of shows over the years of Dean's, different bands, and a couple weeks ago, we all rolled down. We were here at the pad, and oh man, Dean's playing in town. Like we went that far away, and it worked out. We're like 4 or 5 of us rolled in there, and he's seen us rolling in and threw us a shout out on the mic. And man, it felt good. It felt really good to hear it, and I know it probably felt good for them to see us all rolling in. And supporting each other, and that's what it takes, man.
That's what it does take. It takes that. The reciprocation is back and forth. The greatest reward to be on that stage or be behind that homa or be behind that drum is when you give that energy to those people and they receive it and they give it back. It's a back and forth. It's a give and take. It's reciprocated and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And the love is there, and they're like, okay, well, gosh, you know what? We were treated so well on so many levels that we're gonna go back. We're gonna see it again. We're gonna do it again because we love this, and this makes us feel good, and it makes us feel good. So.
Yeah, and if you're way out there in Arizona, New Mexico, or who knows where, Timbuktu somewhere, you're a young native rocker, you got your band, or you're rocking where your area. I would encourage you to probably also reach out to Dean or Warpath. Look him up on Facebook. Talk to them, create that native network of rockers, man. I know there's a lot. We get to travel a lot, and we go to like reservations and stuff, and you'll see like some of the crowd rolling, like Yuma, man. They got a heavy rock scene, dude.
They are calling
those dudes
for
are
us
doing it, man.
Arizona, if they're listening right now, we are currently trying to find the best places in Arizona to play, so we can get the most native people out to our shows, because that's what we're trying to target. We want to target these Native American people, Warpath Nation.
But I swear every res has that group of kids, that teenager group that roll in. They're all in black. You look like my boys. They all rolling in black with some kind of rock shirts. Everybody else listening to rap, but they're rolling in with the rock. Usually got long hair and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool, to see that. That's out there. So it'd be cool to get everybody networked in like that.
Right. Well, come to San Diego, you got a place, you got a home.
Yeah.
We go to Arizona, we got a home.
Yeah.
That's what we've established up in Oregon. We go to Oregon,
cool, man.
we have a home. We can't go stay at a hotel because they won't let us.
Yeah.
No, you're staying there. They'll fight over who's staying. Okay, well then we'll split you guys up. Half you guys stay here and half you guys stay here. Well, if that's going to keep you all from fighting, that's what we'll do.
If we have to.
But that's how it is, you know what I mean? It's become a network thing. And the same thing with the bands up there. They're going to be down here this fall.
Okay.
What can we do in San Diego? As soon as you guys let me know your dates, I will, I'll take care of it. We'll get you guys some headlining shows. We'll get you some paid gigs.
Yeah.
And we'll get you guys on the map down here in San Diego. So
feed them, man. Take them to Talk Shop. We'll get some by Talk Shop.
Hell yeah.
Hey, so what about travel? Are you down to travel? Like someone hits you up South Dakota, some come out and play this conference. You guys are down to do that?
Gone.
Okay.
We're gone.
You don't have no weird Richie Valens, I won't fly type thing? Your guys are
gone. If we gotta fly, we gotta fly. Let's just hope. The plane is not a bowl.
That's messed up. The stars belong to this guy. You guys are down to travel.
If they called us to go tour right now, we'd go.
Okay.
We would go, and that's the beauty of this band. I play in Natural Selection, and the guys are great. Actually, half Chance plays in natural selection with me.
Yeah.
So and the guys are great. You know, Chris is an amazing guitar player, an amazing singer, amazing
His
friend.
vocals are ridiculous, dude.
Isn't it?
You know, he has not. His vocals haven't aged one bit.
Not
Chris
one
Crisp is
bit.
like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Not that he's old. I think he's my age or younger, but he's like.
Yeah, he's old. He's old.
He's a little older, is
Yeah.
he? You don't look it, but
Yeah.
his vocals have not. Sometimes you hear an age, you know, like if you give it a 20-year break or 10-year break,
Yeah.
you hear the vocals
You hear
age a little bit.
yeah,
How I feel with
raspy.
my own vocals, I sing different now than I did 5 years ago, but his vocals are just solid, man.
Yeah, solid.
He's
So
always barefoot up there on
always.
stage.
I think he's played in the whole career of natural selection. I think he has played 2 gigs with shoes
Oh man.
because it was like 45 degree warm. Not even 40. It had to have been 10 degrees. We were in Pachanga at their first gathering.
Oh yeah.
There was like 15 people there. It was on the old
Oh, the old
Rez.
Sandy on the backside?
on the backside with
Oh,
every
we're
time
talking about.
on the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And it was at like, oh God, it had to have been January we were playing.
Oh, man.
It was 9 o'clock at night. It was so cold that we couldn't finish playing. It was that cold. Chris wore shoes.
He
that
wore
night.
shoes.
He wore shoes that night.
Like, you gotta put shoes on, you're gonna lose some toes, man. It's
Yeah,
cold out
definitely.
here.
So, you know,
That's cool.
that's, you just gotta keep it real, you know.